Hi guys, a very good evening. I am Manish Gupta, the founder of National Law Training Institute, and currently in my final year at the National Law School Bangalore. So today we have another NLSAT topper with us. I am speaking to Laila, who got an All India rank of 26 in recently concluded NLSAT 2025. So Laila, over to you. I would love to know about your educational background. Where did you do your schooling from? Where do you belong originally? How did you stumble across NLSAT, and what eventually led you to decide that you want to pursue law?
Hi. So I'm from Gurgaon. I did my schooling in Delhi, and I did my undergrad from Ashoka University. I majored in PP, which is politics, philosophy, and economics, and I specialized in economics. So I graduated in 2024, and then I took a gap year before giving the NLSAT.
Okay.
I didn't really know that I wanted to do law until like maybe July or August of last year. Um, but I think the subjects that I did politics, philosophy, economics. So it's very in tune with law. And
No.
yeah, there, a couple of my relatives are also in the field. So I spoke to them and sort of figured that this is something I'd be interested in and something I'd hopefully be good at. So
Hmm.
yeah, and then NLS was obviously a no-brainer because it's one of the top law university in India.
Yeah.
So I chose a few universities. I chose DU, NLS, and a few in Maharashtra to apply to. But NLS was definitely my top choice. So yeah, I put in the most effort for the NLS.
Yeah. So did you take a drop year specifically for NLSAT, or were you working alongside or pursuing other
Uh,
things?
yeah, no. So I was doing a couple of internships. I was traveling a bit. Then I was volunteering in Ladakh for like 4 months. So it was pretty busy, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I got time to study in with all that.
So what would you say, when did you actually start your serious preparation? Like only NLSAT, nothing else, no distractions.
Uh, I'd say I started doing mocks and no distractions, serious studying by around Jan. But
Okay.
before that, I knew that current affairs and general knowledge is very important for the exam. So from last year, from when I decided I want to do law, so like maybe
Hmm.
August, I started reading the newspaper every day. That was something I followed regularly and
Hmm.
very strictly. Um, but I used to do the NLTI sectional tests here and there, but
Yeah.
not very intensely because I don't think I could study very intensely for a long time. I think I'd
Hmm.
get burned. So I'd say I started doing mocks and proper preparation by Jan. Yeah.
Okay. So Ella, since you enrolled with us in August, as I can see from our records, and
Hmm.
I think that is too early if we go by the NLSAT preparation standard. Like most people start their preparation from November, December onwards. So if someone is enrolling with us right now, or if someone is just starting out their NLSAT preparation, what are the few most important things that they should focus upon right now? One would be newspaper reading, that you can start building your foundation in comprehension and reading speed by
Yeah.
reading newspapers. Is there anything else that they should focus on right now?
I think if you don't think that your writing skills and essay writing skills are very strong, that's not something you can build on at the last minute. So that's also something that
Hmm.
could be worked on throughout the year. My undergrad was very reading and writing heavy, so I
Yeah.
was used to that. But I think if personally you don't think that your writing skills are that great, then I think that's something that you should be working on in advance because yeah.
Right. Thank you for that, Laila. So now we'll move on to strategies for part A and part B in a structured manner. So again, coming back to the first point on how should they improve their reading speed and comprehension, because not everyone has a strong command over the language, the English language, and that might put them at a serious disadvantage. So if someone is, let's say, coming from a Hindi medium background or a background that is not that fluent in English, how should they how should their foundation look like right now? How should they build on their reading speed and comprehension abilities for the RC and the critical reasoning section?
I think one thing that really helped me was reading the editorial page and the opinion pieces in the newspaper. That was something I refused to skip over. I would definitely read that, and even online, I would read. So I usually read the Indian Express, but if you get a
Okay.
subscription of the Hindu or other online things, you should definitely read those opinion pieces, because those are the kind of passages that come in the NLSAT also. Um,
Yeah.
Also, I know that some of my peers, I think, did uh, some passages from the GMAT or LSAT that they found on
Yeah.
Khan Academy and free resources online.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you could practice as well. I didn't do that personally, but
Okay.
I was reading the newspaper. That's sort of how I got my reading comprehension speed and all that.
Okay. Laila, what was your strategy for GK? Like, if I heard you correctly, you said you kept up to date with current affairs most of the time. So, what was your strategy for GK, current affairs? Which sources did you rely upon? All this stuff.
Um, so I've always sort of been up to date with the news, but um, then I started regularly reading the newspaper for the exam, and also I used to go over the NLTI, the GK documents that you guys would give.
Hmm.
I wouldn't memorize anything because I think that's impossible. There's too much information, but I would just
Yeah.
scan through it and go through it once. That really helped, and also there were daily GK quizzes as well on the Telegram group. So I
Mm-hmm.
would join in whenever I could, not every day, but whenever I could, I would join in. And I think when I was reading the newspaper regularly, if I saw that there was one topic that was in the news a lot and over a long period of time, that's something I would focus on and sort of do background research on. So yeah, I guess
Okay.
that.
So, did the GK that come in the paper was it up to your expectations, or did it throw some curveballs?
No, I knew that some questions would be easy and some would be impossible to have prepared for. And
Hmm.
that you just have to rely on your, elimination or guessing skills. Um, but yeah, I think it was more or less fine. It was expected. That's-
So, were you expecting a rank of 26 in NLSAT 2025?
No, I was not. I wasn't even expecting to get in. I know it's extremely competitive and I'm very happy. But yeah, it's not something I expected, I think.
Right. So Laila, we'll talk about Part B a little now. So what was your strategy for Part B? Particularly, I want to hear about time management. So time management is something that everyone talks about, that you're not able to complete the paper only. So how did you manage your time if you gave mocks? So what was the strategy for mocks, and how did it differ in the final examination?
So in the mocks, I would hard stop at 1 hour for part A,
Part A.
and then give the rest of the time for part B. Um, I think I did. Uh, Initially, when I started doing part B, even I was a little slow. I wasn't being able to finish it on time.
Hmm.
And I wasn't being able to finish hit the word limit as well. Um, but I think in the end, I gave around 10 minutes or like 8 to 10 minutes for each long answer. And then I
Hmm.
wanted to give myself a lot of comfortable amount of time for the essay.
I see.
Uh, so yeah, I was just timing myself, and as I got more and more comfortable with the format of the long answers, it just got easier.
Yeah. So how did the strategy change or differ in the final paper? Were you able to follow the same time management distribution?
Yeah, I took a little more time for part A. I think I took maybe 1 hour, 5 to 10 minutes, like 5 10 minutes
Hmm.
more. So for the essay, I didn't have a lot of time, but I was able to hit the word limit, and I was happy with how much I wrote and the
Hmm.
quality of what I wrote. But yeah, I took maybe 5 to 10 minutes more in the actual exam for part
Okay.
A.
So, right. Laila, what do you think made the most difference in your preparation? What is that one thing that every future aspirant should focus on?
Um, One, definitely the newspaper. That if I didn't follow the news so regularly, I don't think I would have been able to do this exam.
Hmm.
And two, the mocks for sure, because you get very comfortable with the paper, and then when you do
Yeah.
more and more mocks, if you're reading any passage, when you're reading it, you're sort of thinking of the question that you could be asked in the exam. So as soon as you do more and more mocks, you sort of understand the pattern of the paper and what kind of questions will be asked. And then you can not predict, but you get your brain sort of focuses on that. Like, I think that really helped doing mocks regularly. um, and yeah, just building part A accuracy. That's something that I focused on, because I know if you
Hmm.
don't hit a certain percentile in part A, you don't,
Yeah.
fall part B. So yeah, I'd say doing mocks and the NLTI mocks obviously is what I did, and those were very helpful. Very nice.
Right. Laila, so since we are on this topic, I'll want to hear more from you on this. So what was NLTI's role in your preparation? Since you started with us in August, you spent considerable time in the program. So do you think we justified the price of the course? And would you recommend us to the future aspirants?
Yeah, I think I'm very glad that I chose NLTI, because like I said before, initially when I first started preparing, I was only reading the newspaper, and I would do one of these sectional tests here and there just
Hmm.
to get attuned to the reading comprehension. Um, so that's the help that I took from NLTI in the beginning, and then in the second half of my preparation, when I started doing all the mocks and the GK quizzes as well, that I think was definitely game changing, because if I didn't do so many mocks before the
Hmm.
paper, I don't think I would have been that comfortable entering the examination hall. Also, I think the GK docs that were provided, again, if you just do one scan of them, your brain sort of registers it, even if you don't,
Yeah.
you don't have to memorize anything. So that really helped. And also the feedback that I got from my part B. I don't think I submitted many part Bs because I would always miss the deadline, but the feedback that I got whenever I did was helpful for sure.
Right. So, Leila, one last question, and then we'll wrap up the interview. So, one advice on part B, like, how did you structure your answers? Like, everyone suggests you follow the IRAC format. So, did you follow the IRAC format? And what
Yeah.
is your advice on should you write more or should you write less but with a better quality?
So I also followed IRAC only. Um, I think that just gives you a structured way of how to, tackle the
Yeah.
question. Um, in terms of the quality over quantity, I'd say I don't think I hit the word limit every time I did it, every time I wrote an answer. Um, I think if you're writing too much without actually saying anything, it's worthless. So
Hmm.
if you can just be concise and clear in what you're saying, and
Yeah.
uh, all the facts are in the question itself. So if you just you know give those facts, give your reasoning in a clear, concise manner, instead of writing long, winding sentences which don't they're not really saying anything. It's just to hit the word limit very obviously.
Yeah.
So I think that that's not helpful. So you just be clear, be concise, and get your point across.
Got it. So thank you so much, Leila, for agreeing to this interview. I'm sure future aspirants will find this very helpful. And congratulations again on getting into NLS with such a good rank. We are very proud of you at NLT and look forward to seeing you on campus. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anish. Thank you so much, and thank you
Thank you.
NLTI for all your help.